introductions. We'll just have you line up over here for questions. We'll get to as many as we can, so I apologize if we don't get to everyone. We do have another guest panel later, so if you don't get your question asked this time, be sure to come to the next one. All right. Any questions before we start?
Peter.
What?
You got a mic on here.
Oh.
This is not Imperial.
This one here? All right.
All right, ladies and gentlemen.
All right, so let's begin by giving the proper introductions to our wonderful guests. And excuse me, I'm wearing new glasses and new technology to do this with, so I figure AFW is a kind enough place to let me test out both. So here we go. First of all, some people know him as Q. You might know him as Raiden in Metal Gear, Axel in Kingdom Hearts, and Reno in Final Fantasy VII. Right now, you might be listening to him as Silver the Hedgehog, excuse me. And of course, he's done a variety of other projects that we get to ask him about today. Please, welcome to the stage, ladies and gentlemen, Quentin Flynn! Thank you. Okay.
Feels like a game show.
Hello? Hello. That's better, much better.
And next up on The Price is Right, we have... She grew up in Japan and is known as the 6-foot blonde geisha. You might have heard her as Sarah Bryant in Virtua Fighter, Nina Williams, Christy Montero, and Zafina in Tekken franchise. Also, she was in the movie Lost in Translation, which was a 2003 Academy Award-winning film, which is also ironic because she does a lot of translating work. She's also been in the amazing Kamataki as Rita and hosts TV and radio in Japanese and English since she was 19. Please, welcome to the stage, Lisa Wilkerson, ladies and gentlemen. And I had to get in another program just for these notes, for this next gentleman. Anybody here Italian fans? Anybody? Well, we have North Italy. He's also known in FMA as Lin Yao and Hikaru in the Oran High School Host Club. Anybody here watch Soul Eater? Death the Kid? Also Kororo and Sergeant Frog, and a producer for his own company out of the Office Productions. He has a BFA from Southern Methodist University. He's a writer, producer, actor, director, and just a terrific father. Please welcome to the stage, Todd Havercourt!
Yes.
I gotta change it.
Hello? Hello? I'm gonna change my bio. I like his better.
I'm
Which
sorry.
one? It's fine.
I'll write a better one next time.
Thank you. You didn't write it. Somebody else did. I know it. He wrote it, for fuck's sake. Excuse my language.
Hi, everybody. I had a brief stop in Texas before coming here, and I thought coming here I'd be like, oh man, we're gonna escape the heat. And then the heat was like, oh, I found you, even when you fly at 550 miles an hour, 6 miles high in the air, you can't escape me. Ever heard of convection? That's me. I was like, Heat, what are you doing? I'm just trying to check into my room. He's like, you can check into your room. I was like, well, that's nice of you, Heat. He goes, my pleasure. But I'm still gonna be hot.
So, the thermostat's not going to work.
The thermostat's gonna be like, I'm with Heat, guys. So, man, can't get away from it.
The heat is overwhelming. That's the situation, the heat.
Yeah, well, I mean, we're spoiled by LA. I mean, it's hot in LA right now.
Yeah.
It's very hot. It's the big 9-7. It's 97 degrees. Quite hot.
Yeah. What global warming? I have no idea what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Was it 120 here?
Almost. Not yet, but wait, we gotta go.
Yeah, exactly.
What is it? It's 10:30, so 10:40. Well, when I was in one time, so I was recording in Texas for the first e-manga. They were going to do this e-manga thing that has voices as you read it. It was like, I forget the name of it, but the Japanese client came and I said, oh, you know what would be a cool gift for them is bringing them, like, because they always bring gifts whenever they work with you. They're very kind. I'm like, well, I want to bring them a gift. So when I was recording on, I think it was like Fairy Tale or something like that, on our lunch break, I ran to the store and I got the supplies. And then I went to my car and I put the baking sheet on the dash. And I put the cookies on the baking sheet, the piece of sheet. And then I let the sun do its tasty work. And it was cooking these cookies simply by using the heat. My heat. Using the heat from the sun. It was cooking those cookies. And so I would check on them each hour, and they were just, the cookies were like, you won't defeat us! And then he was like, yes, I will. And the cookies are trying to and they get smushing out to become cookies is what they need to be, because at first, you know, they're very firm and strong. And then, as I'm driving, they're not quite done yet. And so I have to go to Okatron, which is Sabbath Studio, so technically my boss was Vegeta. And so I'm driving and I'm holding the cookie sheet because what I should have done is duct tape the cookie sheet to the car. But I'm having to hold it so they're not sliding around. And as I'm holding it, I was speeding a little bit, and I got pulled over. I got a speeding ticket. And after the guy gives me the ticket, the cop, so he says, it was weird. I was about to roll up the window, he goes, you know what, I gotta say, you know, out of all the years I've been doing this, I've never seen someone bake cookies that way. And he goes, I like that. And I go, but you don't like it enough not to give me a ticket. Okay. You want one? He goes, no, you're still getting the ticket. And so, yeah, so I drove to Okatron, and then so the Japanese guest gave me all the gifts, and I signed everything. He was very nice. Like, he goes, here, you have this, and you can have this. And I was expecting, like something like The Price is Right, where it's like, what's behind the curtain? Do I get that too? Jet skis or something? And so I went down to the car, and they recorded it because they record everything. Like, they're in the booth, recording me in the booth while I'm working. And that's not very exciting because you're not hearing any of the production audio. All you're hearing is me. So the camera's on me, I'm looking at the monitors, and the camera's like doing all these, you know, panning shots, tilting shots, trucking along, and all the audio is like, yes. Okay. But he's recording the whole thing. And so he comes down to the car to see the cookies, and I don't think he's ever seen dashboard cookies, so he's not but Japanese are so polite that they're gonna eat it anyway. And so I said, no, you're eating one of these cookies. And so I gave him a cookie, and I gave his assistant the cookies, and I sat there. I didn't leave the room, because I knew if I left the room, something would happen to them. So I sat there and watched them. And I said, are you liking the cookie? He hadn't taken a bite yet. So, are you liking it? And so then at that time, he had to take a bite. Because I needed to make him a believer. Then I saw his face. He was a cookie believer. And then he ate the cookie, and he liked it, but he's so stubborn that he had to maintain his stoic stance of not liking the cookie. But I knew he liked it. I know he did. But the whole doesn't gone, because once people got the taste of the dashboard cookies, they were like World War Z, going from Brad Pitt's blonde, smashingly good-looking hair. They were after it, like a cookie. And so that was my dashboard cookie story, which ties back into heat.
Coincidentally, that's the name of my new band.
Yeah.
Dashboard Cookies.
I like it.
Our new album is Heat.
You only do Betty Crocker covers.
No, not many people do what we do.
Yeah.
And I have to all of Betty Crocker.
Yeah, you take her recipes, you put it to music, and that's the content.
Exactly. And then we also do the jingle, N-E-S-T-L-E-S, Nestle's is the...
Oh, nice. I went to one of their concerts. Dashboard cookies are pretty good. It's like, 2 cups of sugar, 2 cups. I mean, it was good. It was really good.
I know my tunes. Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Pillsbury Doughboys open for you, is that right?
That's right.
Pillsbury Doughboy has opened for us. Yes.
Yeah, but you've got to catch him, but he has a curfew because he likes to rehearse.
I see.
So, he likes to be a rum cake in more ways than one.
Yeah. So feel free to use the mic in between them.
Alright,
So that way we can hear you and they can hear you.
Ladies and gentlemen, testing 1, 2, 3. Can you hear me okay? Hello?
Checking in.
Check. There we go. All right. Well, we are going to. First of all, do you have anything else you'd like to add before we open up for questions? You?
Dashboard cookies.
Yeah. How do you beat a dashboard?
Well, next is our dashboard muffins, because my idea that the muffins it's a lighter dough, you know, it's a lighter material than cookies, right? The cookies are very dense, but the muffins are so light and fluffy, I wonder if they'll cook faster. Tune in. That could be
As long as they rise.
So when he does his concert, it's dashboard cookies, but when he does his acoustic set, it's Dashboard
muffins. Yeah, I like to break it down. Do some light narrator songs. Do some
Air supply.
Yeah.
Do you ever perform with Cake, the band?
Cake, of course.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
See, he used to open for Cake, but then when Dashboard Cookies took off and Betty Crocker really, you start saving those points, and everyone started doing that, Cake started opening for them.
Yeah. We did Lollapalooza together. It was insane.
Yeah.
Goodness, baking
Hey,
jokes.
real quick question. In the programs, do they have any like our biographies on us, any of our credits or anything like that?
Yes.
So you guys know who we are. And if you don't, then just feel free to come up and ask.
Yeah, if you have questions, the line starts right here. Come on over, and we'll get your questions asked. If not, I will just start randomly asking questions. So,
Come on over,
Just-
come on over, baby.
it's all right. Don't be crazy.
Come on over.
So, Todd, what have you been working on recently?
Stuff that I can talk about, K is coming out, Kusanagi and K. There are a couple shows, the problem is there are a lot of shows that we can't discuss.
Right.
There's a book that I begin narrating from a major fashion designer Monday. And I don't think I can talk about it, but he's a guy that, he works very closely with Tommy Hilfiger. And so he wrote a book, and so they had to search for a narrator. And so we had to submit these auditions for it, and luckily, very, very kindly, I got selected, and so I'll be Skyping with him he'll be in New York, Skyping in to listen to my session, and I'm like, what notes do billionaires give narrators? I'm scared, because I don't know what's gonna happen. But as far as other audiobooks I can talk about, there's a book coming called Fiend, and it's by a reformed heroin addict.
Oh.
And so he was like, and that's like a hard thing to kick.
That was me.
That was, but Quincy, it's under your pen name.
Exactly, yeah.
Quincy Flynn. Yeah. It's like, that's not a very good pen name, Quentin. But Quincy is so close. But he's a recovered addict. And I mean, that's like a hard thing. That's like trying to cook that. You're trying to kick the habit of Dashboard Cookies. You just can't do it. But he did it. And he wrote this book that takes place it's about these guys that do, for the purposes of the time of day, we'll call this activity baking cookies. So these two guys were baking cookies together, and they were inside and they lost track of time outside of the house that they were in, this abandoned house. But when they come out, it's almost like kind of like a desolate terrain. There's nobody around. Well, it turns out that everyone has been turned into, basically a zombie of some kind. But what they realize is that the reason they haven't turned into zombies is because of baking of the cookies that they do. It pollutes their blood so much that the infection can't take hold. So the only survivors are these cookie junkies. And so the story follows them trying to figure out what to do with life, but also getting their cookie fix along the way, because they have to stay medicated the whole time, but no one's around to cook the cookies. So they have to group together, and there's distrust, and there's like, well, you've got a couple cookies, but I'm out of cookies, so how do we get yours? It's a really cool twist on the zombie thing, and also it's very surreal because the guy is a recovering cookie addict, and so he knows the world of baking cookies very well. And so his description is very, it's a really good book. It's called Fiend, so F-I-E-N-D.
What's the age on that?
I would not suggest kids that have cookies in their diet on a regular basis read this book. It is definitely, like I'd say, oh man, like 17. Yeah, I would say. But it is a really good book. It's from Random House. Check it out, Fiend. It's coming out soon. It's super good. And I love all the audiobooks I do, but there are certain books that stand out where you're like, man, that's a good one. So this is one of those. Yeah.
It's a good audiobook.
Yeah, I liked it, and I got to work with. What's funny is the director I worked with. His name's Tony. He's like this TV producer that used to be a music producer. So he would produce these concerts from like Rolling Stones, their DVDs, like Zeppelin. He would produce their concert DVDs. And so he's talking about working in the studio with them and the cookies they like to bake in the studio. Oh man, the stories are amazing. But when I first moved to LA, an audiobook that I listened to all the time on my way over, because it's a 26-hour drive, was Dick Van Dyke's autobiography. Man, everyone in Hollywood loves Dick Van Dyke. There's not a single person that says a bad thing about it. So I love that book and his story. It's like, it's very similar to kind of some of the things that I've gone through. And so 2 years afterwards, I'm working with this director on this audiobook, and at the end of the session, we talk about audiobooks we like. And I said, man, I love this Dick Van Dyke audiobook. And he goes, you know what's funny about that? Right before this, or he goes, not right before this book, but a little while ago, which was a couple years ago, he goes, I directed that book. So he had directed the book that I loved so much, so I thought it was pretty cool. Then we were working on a book about baking cookies. Yeah.
What's the Dick Van Dyke book called?
My Lucky Life. It's great. He narrates it,
Narrates it himself.
and it's great. He went up to his studio in Malibu and did it each day. It was really cool.
I loved it.
Oh man, his story.
Do you know who Dick Van Dyke is?
Yeah.
Show hands who don't.
See, that's the
Well,
thing.
everybody knows.
I mean, he's been retired for a long time, but still, everyone still knows him. He's that.
Yeah.
He's that good.
Mary Poppins, Chitty Chitty Bang Bang.
Oh yeah. And he hated that movie.
Which one?
He talks about that in his book. He hated working on it.
I hated Chitty Chitty Bang Bang so much.
Well, because the director did not like kids and he didn't understand the movie, and like he was being mean to some of the kids, and he had to step up and John McClane him a few times. And it was interesting. So it's good.
All right. Well, are you guys ready for a question?
If you're ready, sir.
All right. What's your name?
Tiffany.
Hi, Tiffany. Who's your question for?
I have two. Is that
Okay.
okay? One's for Quentin and one's for Todd. Quentin.
Yes.
My friend Noelle, she just got a Reno play figure from a friend who donated to her from Australia, and we were just making a funny joke about how Reno would sound if he had an Australian accent.
Ah.
Is there a way you can talk as Reno in an Australian accent?
Are you Australian yourself?
No.
Oh. I was going to say you could do it for me. So is this to Noel?
Yes.
Let's see, Reno, Australian. We find Reno first. Yeah, what's going on? What's up, Noel? Think I'm gonna go take a trip to the land down under. Yeah. Reno here. In my school. Wait a minute. What am I talking about? Yeah, that's right. Yeah. Alright, yeah, you cool. Yeah. That's good to be here with my friend Ruben hanging out, right? We're gonna have a good time. Gonna play with the crooks. Have some ale. Chase some birds. I don't know, birds is what the Brits would say. I don't know what the Aussies would say.
You know what I love about Liesl and Quentin or Quincy is that they're so international. I just love to soak it in. You guys are world travelers, man. It's awesome.
So it's in. Thank you.
Round of applause for Reno for Australia. Now, Tashi has another question.
All right, Todd, I just recently broke up with my boyfriend, and I've been a little heartbroken. Is there any way that I could go to the host club if you could?
She wants to go to the host club.
That's the host club.
If you have to ask, you can't afford it.
Is that like the 3 Mile High Club?
No, it is not.
It's where they go to be entertained. Yeah, by gentlemen. Where women go to be entertained by gentlemen.
I've never heard of it. I guess it's because I'm not aware.
Oliver Eat. I'll show you the ropes. Eat. Okay.
Why between you and Tommy Kiko?
Well, I'm sorry that you broke up with your boyfriend. What I would suggest in the future is if you have a twin, those are the ties that bind. You guys would never be broken up ever, and you will enjoy each other's company for life, and commoners coffee. Maybe making some cookies, who knows what
Round of applause.
Oh, I get it. It's an acting reference to something he's in.
There are host clubs.
In real life?
In Japan?
Absolutely, all over Japan.
Now, when they is it like entertaining, like, hey, sit down, we'll play some video games, or is it like,
Hey, sit down, take off your pants.
like
You
everything?
mean, what do they do?
Yeah, like
A host club?
anything. Anything, basically, whatever you're willing to pay, right?
Right.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay.
As a 6 foot geisha, how does that play in? Or should we ask that question?
How does it play in? You mean, have I been to a host club?
I would not ever ask that question.
I have not been to a host club. However, I have many girlfriends that have gone to host clubs.
Yeah, you don't have
Yeah,
to.
you
have
pick
gone
you
to
pick
it,
the
yeah.
guys that you want them to sit down
Yeah.
with at your table, and they entertain you.
I mean, that doesn't mean you've been. It's like, I've seen the Talbots, I haven't been inside of them. But I know what a Talbot's is.
What's the Talbot's?
The petite woman's clothing store.
There you go. That's a cool idea.
Yeah, I know exactly what it is, but I've never been in.
So he said.
I'll tell you that later.
It was not a color joke. It was so funny, but I just, I get in trouble when I say it.
Family friendly show. Thank you. All right, so let's see. We have another question. Your name, please?
Kaylana.
Kaylana, and you have a panel right after this, don't you?
Yeah.
All right, so it's me plugging your panel. How's that?
Is your name Tijuana? Is that what you said? Exactly. Same thing, yes.
Kaylana, who's your question for?
This is for Todd.
I love the fact that that little kitty is so well behaved. She just stays up there all day long.
It's actually a wolf.
Oh. So what's wolf in Japanese?
Oka.
Ogami?
Okami.
Oh, the game, like the game.
Okami.
Okay, and then kitsune is a fox.
Kitsune is fox.
Todd means fox. And so
Oh.
So you're a fox.
Fox. Well, I'm no Quincy.
Hey. Who is seriously?
So and then dog is what?
Inu
Okay, wow. So wolf, dog, fox.
and Neko is cat.
Is cat neck? Oh yeah. Okay.
There has been a new little video that's been kind of going around YouTube about you calling 2 voice actors in Chicago.
Oh, that's right.
How do you feel about that?
Well, I finally saw that video. Did you make that video?
I did not. I actually found it and I've been sharing it to everybody else.
Yeah. So what happened was I called Rena Palencia and J. Michael Tatum at different times during the same panel. And what I didn't realize at the time was that they were on the same panel. And so someone cut together a video of me at my convention in Chicago doing that, but then also someone in Miami recorded them receiving my phone calls, and then they cut the videos together. And so you see, because I didn't hear everything that they had said on the phone call, so it was good to see the other side of that panel and get hung up on by Tatum. Because Tatum's like, why are you calling me? And I said, because I heard a song that reminded me of you. And he says, what song was that? And I said, it was the Harlem Shake. And so then he hung up.
Thank you very much. All right. Well, hello. And what's your name?
Cassie.
Cassie, step on up here for me. All right. And Cassie, you have a question?
Yes, it's actually a request for Todd. By the way, the camera's right there. My friend can't make it here today because she had a birthday party. So could you wish her a happy birthday in your alien voice, please?
What's your friend's name?
Rachel.
How old?
13.
Rachel, it's time to be 13 for 365 days. Happy birthday!
And your name? Hi, Lainey. How are you? You look a little nervous. All right. Do you remember your question?
Yeah.
All right, who's it for? Okay, Todd's over there.
Hi, lady. How old are you?
12.
12, right on. You know what I was doing when I was 12? I was 12, I had a bowl haircut. I remember that. And there was this one girl that I liked when I was 12. Her name was Jennifer Sandoval. And she would reject me every single day. I would help her with her homework. I would give her my fruit snacks. I would buy her pencils from the little machine. You may not have this now, but they used to have a machine where you put in like a nickel and you get like a pencil. You know what I'm talking about? I would give her pencils. Even when I really wanted to cut the purple pencil, and there's only one in the whole machine, I would put money in until I got the purple pencil. So I've got like a Gatling gun of pencils. I would give her the purple one because she wanted it, and you know what she would say? She goes, "Oh great, I wish you weren't so annoying." And then she contacted me 10 years later. And I was like, dude, the ship is sailing. So that was fun.
You lose Todd Habercorn and his dashboard cookies.
Yeah! No cookies, what are you? What is your question, man?
What's your most embarrassing moment while you were recording the voice?
Most embarrassing moment when I was recording? Okay, so, most embarrassing moment would have to be when I was recording on the video game Rage. So that was a video game that's by the company that did Doom. I play, the first world you encounter is guys that are like this, you know, the bald-headed guys. I play every guy in that town. So it's me yelling to my other self about where to go, where the good guy is, hide behind this, time to blow up, send him a boom boom, which is a bomb, all this kind of stuff, dying, being burned by fire, being shot, falling off a bridge. Basically 945 cues. 940. Have you ever seen 945 of anything? Yeah, 945 cues is a lot of cues to do in this voice. Okay, in that voice, you can probably get through about 20 before your voice starts saying, hey, what are we doing? 945. That's an exact number. I'm not exaggerating. About 20 minutes into the session, I mean, I'm drenched in sweat. Because it's like when you record, a lot of people think, well, it's just your voice, it's not your body, but actually it's very physical. Some people record sitting down. Do you guys record sitting down or always standing up?
For me, it depends.
Yeah, it depends on the type
if
of
it's
role.
like commercials and stuff like that, I sit.
Okay.
But if it's video games or whatever, I stand.
What about you?
I go both ways.
Okay, so sit and stand. So you see, sometimes we sit, sometimes you stand. For audiobooks, sometimes we'll sit, because when you record an audiobook, it's 8 hours a day. I stand for audiobooks. I'm the only guy that does. And I was promptly told that by a director that did not like me standing. Well, I showed him that I would like to stand when I gave him a poisonous dashboard cookie, and that was the last time he ever sassed me. But, so I was standing for this. But I was sweating because the role is very physical, and it's I'm holding on to the roof to try to get into it because it's so hard because the voice is very difficult. And so 20 minutes in, my voice has gone down a couple of octaves, and it's not the same as what we first recorded, but I'm sweating. And I'm very cold because although I'm sweating, my shirt is soaked, but it's freezing. And so there's a camera that's looking in from the booth into the booth to see me, to show the director and engineer where that little guy is sitting right there, basically. And so I said, guys, I don't mean to be weird. Charlie, Dallas, I'm sorry. Those are their names. I'm freezing right now. Is it possible that I can record sans a top? Because I was freezing.
That means without.
Yes. And so they said yes, and so I go, okay, here we go. And I was like, and so we recorded the session that way, and then after the session, he was like, that's a first? I go, yes, thank you for letting me do that. But I lost my voice for 9.5 days. Now, that wasn't the embarrassing part. The sans top was the embarrassing part. We got through. It's the only time I've ever done that. So, but that was pretty embarrassing for me, especially because I've never met those guys before.
Thank you very much for the question. Well done.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right. Well, hi. I like your hair. Is it natural?
That's swimmer's hair. There's a lot of swimming.
I like that vest. You're very nice. Let's step up a little bit closer. Hi. What's your name?
My name is Brandon.
Hi, Brandon. You have a question?
I actually have two, but I'm willing to ask one, get back in line, and ask the other one. Very kind.
You are conscientious. Said that word
for Lisa.
Yes.
So, between acting, voice acting, and interviewing and translating, what do you look forward to doing the most?
That's a very good question because they're very different. The way you approach people. Well, I mean, because voice acting, and also it depends on the project that I'm involved in. A lot of my voice work I did in Japan, and a lot of times we all work together in the studio. So I really love those projects, like where we're doing an audiobook or we're doing some kind of educational stuff for kids. We did a lot of like fairy tales and stuff like that, where there was a big group of us and we got to kind of synergize off each other. The one thing I think about I do enjoy interpreting and and interviewing and stuff like that. And that's a lot of fun, but there's a lot of expectation as well put on me with the client, because in Japan, some of the people that are famous here are not famous in Japan. So, of course, they want the Brad Pitts and the Angelina Jolies on the red carpet. And on the red carpet, you have to get your own interviews. You don't have someone saying, oh, by the way, here's Johnny Depp, and he's here to be interviewed by you. You have to really hustle, and you have to get your own interviews. So, I don't know. I love them. I love both sides, but they challenge me two different ways. So, yeah. Did I answer your question?
You did. You're basically saying you love every job you do.
Yes, exactly.
And do you, because you've lived in vastly different cultures and you've dealt with people so much, does that give you uber patience with life, or are you like, man, this is not how this would go down in Japan?
It's actually, it's funny. Someone asked me that same question because working with the Japanese and then working here in the States in the American work environment is very different. And unfortunately and fortunately with me, because I know the Japanese cultures so well, a lot of times the Japanese will automatically assume that, or they'll expect from me certain things. Like in Japan, when you do, yeah, or I mean, in Japan a lot of times you'll work 16, 17 hours a day. Yeah, like I just came off of a job like that. It was a TV reporting job, and I did it last year as well. And in Japan, that's what they expect from their talent. It's kind of it's a no-brainer. But of course, we're working here in the States. We're not working in Japan, so I have to kind of remind them that I'm not Japanese. And no, we can't continue to work until 5 a.m. and then have call time at 7 a.m.
And they're like, baka!
Exactly. Yeah. But I mean, the one good thing I think that I've learned is to use both cultures to kind of my advantage. Depending on who I'm working with.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right on. Hard worker.
I have a question for Lisa real quick. So now, how much of your life did you spend in Japan?
Almost 35 years.
Okay, so I'm guessing, just based on your books alone, many would assume you're...
That I don't speak in Japanese.
Exactly.
I continue to assume. I've gotten that my whole life, so 35 years.
And people would say stuff in front of you.
Yeah,
you
all the
pick
time.
it up, and then you turn to them, and if you like, speak to them in their native tongue and freak them out.
Right, I've done that a lot.
Oh, what's the best time you've done that?
Well, actually, okay, so this is, you guys have probably heard about crowded trains getting, touched in inappropriate places. Okay, so there was one person that was kind of touching someone next to me. I had that too, unfortunately. But, so anyway, there was someone that was, getting harassed.
Getting fresh.
Yes, exactly. And I was watching this going on. And of course, the girl is not going to do anything about it, because that's how it is in Japanese culture as well. You don't say anything, you don't speak up. And I know this, but I'm not, I was like, no, I have to say something.
You're the 6-foot geisha.
Exactly. Kick ass. Yes. So all of a sudden, in the crowded train, I start speaking up. I'm like, 何やってんの? そんなことしないで? もう死んじゃない! And he was like, and then next thing, at the next stop, he took off because he was so disgraced, because everyone was just like, and the girl was telling me to stop. She was like, don't do that, don't do that.
Yeah, let them keep touching you.
Oh, no, telling me to stop?
Even though I don't like it, in our culture, you don't say anything.
If I may, Lisa, real quick, do you think in Japanese? Or do you think in English?
When it depends. I get into mode, like when I'm doing interpreting and stuff like that, I will think or I'll react in Japanese. So yeah, I do sometimes.
When you wake up, when you get upset, what do you think what's your...
When I'm speaking to someone Japanese, yeah. Or even sometimes if I'm reacting, I'll be like, あれそれちょっと違うんだよね。よくわかんないんだけどさ。And then people, or
that's some sort of incantation you just said.
No, I mean, it's just something that just kind of comes off without you really thinking about it.
Well, you were 5 when you were there, and all the way up again.
Right, so when I was 5, so what happened was from 5 to 8 years old, I lived in Sendai, which is the epicenter of where the earthquake and tsunami was. And it was really during that time that I learned my Japanese, the base of my Japanese, because I was playing with kids on the playground, and I also studied Japanese. But then we moved to Tokyo, and I went to international school, and I didn't use Japanese at all. So I didn't start using it until I was 19, and I got into radio. Yeah, so, I mean, I am fluent, but I'm still learning, but yeah.
Which do you think naturally first, Japanese or English?
Both. Yeah. So if I'm talking to someone Japanese, I'll be speaking in Japanese.
Oh, so you just like, it's like a switch.
Yeah.
It's always funny to hear the words that aren't in Japanese, like something something Japanese, Captain Crunch.
Yeah. We do that a lot in radio. Yeah. It's like, あ、どうも、そうなんですよね。ジョニー・デップはそういうふうに言ったんですけど、よくわかんないですけどね。はあ、そうですか、キャプテン・クランチだったらいいんですね。
I have no idea what you said, but it was
I can't really say anything.
very important. So, if I may I have your name?
Lex,
Hi, Lex.
my question's for Tony.
Go right ahead.
On a scale of 1 to 10, how much do I look like Dad?
I was just thinking about that when you were asking your question. I think you are casual death on a casual death day when there's no killing that needs to happen.
Yeah, just for like an episode for basketball.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was thinking. I didn't say it, but I was like, yeah, that's the extra basketball episode.
Yeah, I have the red shirt, but I buttoned it up.
I'm gonna give you. What's your background? Are you like where's your mom from?
My mom is her book from America.
Oh, okay. Well, I'll give you an 8. Because if you were Asian, then I would give you lots of points. But you look very good. I like it, and I like you put those the stripes in your hair. Good luck getting those out.
Adhesive tape, and I practiced last night.
Oh, I know it's adhesive tape. That's why I said good luck.
I was just like, I was planning to put regular tape in my hair.
Yeah.
And just like, okay, I'll just leave this in.
Well, it reminds me of that episode of The Simpsons where Lisa got gum in her hair, and they tried to use peanut butter to get it out. Then she had gum and peanut butter in her hair, and then they just shaved it all off. So if I see you tomorrow and like I see the side of you that has all this hair, and then you turn and there's no hair because you couldn't get it out, I'm gonna freak out. Just letting you know.
I think you're like the greatest voice actor ever.
Well, I think you are so sweet to think that. And I hope that I hope that the casting directors think that one day. So thank you so much for saying that. That's so sweet.
The other kid, ladies and gentlemen.
But it turns out if you were Asian, it would have meant more.
I look Asian, I got small eyes.
You do look like you have epicanthic folds, which is what the fold is on the eye. So
What's it called?
epicanthic fold.
Epicanthic
Fold.
fold?
Right?
Epicanthic fold.
It's that almond fold.
The almond fold.
Yeah. You know, I look at you and you have a very Asian air about you. The way you carry yourself and the way it's like. I know when you're thinking something you're not saying, because even though you come from the Japanese culture and I come from Vietnamese culture, it's almost the same because the generations across the board have very similar traits. And so when I look at her, I know exactly when she's thinking something that she's not saying. So.
What about me? Am I screwed?
No, I know all about you because Quincy, I've followed your band. I've gone to every show.
That's right.
I am a Dashboard Cookie groupie.
Thank you.
So I bought all the shirts,
Yep.
all the recipes, and all the cookies.
Well, and I love your band, Epicanthic Fold.
Yes, that's right. We play with the theremin a lot.
Exactly.
We do a lot of that kind of
Did you
stuff.
open for Eye Shine? Just that, you know.
Yeah, actually, yes, I shine. They're in Brazil right now. They just played a show in Brazil, and they're producing my album that's coming out later this year. So in September at Anime AWA in Atlanta, I'm going to do a live concert there, and we're going to record it and put it on DVD. So they'll be there for that. I think they're going to be my backup band.
Wonderful. They were here last year. in fact.
Yeah, they're great. Eye Shine's awesome. You should hear them do their Walking Dead theme. Because they're big fans of Walking Dead, so they play it. They bust it out.
That's wonderful.
One fan of Walking Dead, yes. Well, 2 fans, maybe 3, maybe 4, 5. Be careful, you might get a baker's dozen.
We're having a zombie workout. All right. Hi. Kind of step up a little bit here. May I have your name?
Chance.
Chance. And your question, Chance?
Todd, what do you do when preparing to do your voice acting?
Okay, what do I do to prepare as I'm going to the studio to record? Well, first I get a small animal and I put it in my clothing, like you. I keep it there to keep it warm, and also so it can't escape. What I do is I have music that will pop on the radio, and I will sing different genres of songs from different eras that cover a range. Because in college, I don't know if anyone's majoring in theater out here. Anybody? Nobody? You know what theater is? A couple thousand-year-old tradition. It's okay. It's cool. But so when I majored in theater, we would do these weird, wacky warm-ups. Now, some people love these warm-ups. I myself prefer other modes of transportation to the warm-up place. Typically, a warm-up we do is like, hi! Like a car alarm. Or I'd be like, hello! Or opening up the soft palate, hello! Touching the tongue to the top of the mouth, la 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 la, ooh, ah, ee, ba, ooh, ba, ooh, ba. Like, we do all these warm-ups. I don't like doing it, it's very strange. To me. So what I do is I sing in the car. And I got that volume cranked and I'm singing. The only time that I get a little anxious is when I come up to a stoplight. And sometimes, sometimes you do the thing where, you look over and they're looking at you and you just own it. And you're like, we built this city on the voice of a built this city. And they're just like, okay, go on with it. One time I turned to it and a woman knew what song I was singing because she could hear it because my windows were down a little bit and she joined me. She was like, a traffic backup singer. But then there are times when you're singing and the person looks over and they know that eye contact is a sign of aggression, just in life. Like right now, I'm putting aggression on. And they won't look at me. Like they'll look and they won't look. And so then I just kind of look over and I start singing a little bit and I'm like, what songs they sing? Take up me. And so I'm looking at them until they look at me, because you can feel it when someone's looking at you.
Oh yeah.
Like when I'm playing a video game like Metal Gear Solid Rising or something like that, and there's a scary part, I immediately feel like my hallway is looking at me. You know what I'm talking about when you play Dead Space or something like that? That's why I can only play horror games. Not that Metal Gear Rising is a horror game at all, it's just an awesome action game. But horror games I can only play in 15-minute spurts. Because it's about the 15-minute mark where I'm like, I'm done. So it's me, heat. It's nighttime. And so that's how I warm up. How do you guys warm up? Or do you warm? Do you need to warm up? Are your voice weapons always ready?
Cigarettes and alcohol.
Rubbing alcohol to deal with the open wound is what about you?
Depends.
You yell at guys being sassy and fresh.
I do. Yeah.
I honestly don't warm up too much, but I will say what's helpful in the studio is, well, I always say lots of water, and if they have hot tea and lemon, that's good. Especially if I'm doing one of those games where I feel a lot of yelling, that's optimal. That's about it, really. They say to stay away from caffeine.
That's because Quentin, when he says he doesn't do a lot of warm, it's because he's really kind of always warm because he's always working, he's always recording, so it's like his voice is kind of always ready to rock, I guess. Whereas me, they could dust me off and all right, get Capricorn into the, I've got to warm up and remember how this works and remember the English language because sometimes I forget it. Like right now, I don't know what I'm saying.
And yet you're brilliant.
Yeah, well, no, I'm like Powder. I'm that kid that was living in the basement just reading the Moby Dick books and things like that, check off and things. No one came to me and said anything or brought me any dashboard cookies. What about you? So you were talking about your warm.
Well, especially when I was doing a morning show, I used to do a radio show like at 6 a.m. on Saturday morning. And usually I would actually come from partying all night. I'd be drinking and carousing until like 4:30 a.m. and then go right to the studio. But
yeah, somebody had hungover, somebody drunk.
Yeah, so energy-wise, I was already right there, so I was good.
Yeah.
But usually I would just kind of warm up my mouth, like.
There's a lot of muscles that people take for granted.
Yeah, that's all.
Especially in Japan.
Yeah.
I agree, and because I don't do conventions every week, like you, I do sing, use rock band, but when I'm in my car, which is now a convertible, and I start singing and people pull up next to me, I'm like singing like a bass hunter song, so it's in a different language, and I'm like, hey, how's it going? And so it's very
Yeah.
I got a quick question. How late do we go on this panel?
We are going to 11:30.
So we should go in the speed round. We got a long line here.
We do. We're gonna take a quick speed round. We're gonna do quick answers, quick questions, and we don't have anybody else in the line. All right. So thank you very much. Kind of step up.
Thank
here.
you.
And your name?
Michelle.
Michelle. You're wearing a Soul Eater badge there or lanyard. What's your question?
My question's for Todd.
Is this the Todd Show or what?
How do you get the deplicate voice? Like, how do you do it?
Well, when I saw the character and his name, Death was in his name, and his father was Death, and I thought that he's this elitist, killing machine type guy. I just thought like, well, maybe his voice it's younger, but maybe it should be like a young Batman in training. And so that's where the voice came from. When he talks about symmetry, and he's a little bit of a stuck-up kid. His daddy runs the school. I thought that that's how it should be. So yeah.
Thank you very much. Thank you for your question. Hi, your name?
I'm Hannah. My best friend couldn't be here today, but she wants to know, Todd, do you have any beauty tips? Because she thinks you're beautiful.
What a sweetheart. What's your friend's name?
Bailey.
Bailey. Bailey, some beauty tips. Do everything that Liesl does and you'll be fine. Hi.
Lots of water.
Your name?
Christina.
Hi, Christina. What's your question?
I have a request for Todd. My friend Diana is
This
turning
isn't
16.
vodka.
Turning 16?
She's turning 16 next week, and she couldn't be here, so I was wondering if you could give her a happy birthday message in Italy's voice.
And what's your friend's name again?
Diana.
Diana. Where's your...
Over here.
Diana.
Ben, you're going to have a birthday. And you get to be a year older. So many fun things you can do. Now you're old enough to make pasta by yourself.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Hey, you're back.
Waka.
Come on up. And your name again?
I'm Brandon. Again. This one's for Quentin, actually. At the end of Metal Gear Solid. Quincy.
No, it's not.
It's good.
Did you work ensemble or separately on Rising? Because at the end,
I can't closer to this.
sorry. At the end of NGR Rising, were you working ensemble or separately? Because that last battle with Armstrong got really weird, and I'm wondering how many times you guys had to stop when you were laughing.
Todd will have to answer that for me. Okay. No, we actually worked separately. Armstrong and I, that actor. I can't remember if maybe we were in the booth once together. We might have acted once in the booth together. We did a lot of pickups for that fighting stuff. Yeah. Was I laughing?
Well, it got really ridiculous towards the end with a lot of things they were saying, and I'm wondering
Like what?
When Armstrong started saying, I want every man to fight his own wars, and I hate the media, I hate all the celebrities, every single one of them.
Yes.
And Ryan really just says, you're crazy.
Exactly.
What am I supposed to say?
Exactly. So, yeah, it was a lot of fun. Yeah, it was a lot of fun. He and I did work one session together, and the rest were tons of pickups. I had to do a lot of grunting, a lot of yelling, and a lot of crying in the fetal position.
Saturday.
Yeah, exactly.
Hi. Your name?
Felicia. I actually have a request for Quentin. I have a couple of friends from college who are in Omaha and they couldn't be here. Could you
Well, isn't that too bad for them?
could you give a shout out to them as Axel? 'Cause
What
they're
are
huge.
their names?
Molly and Sophie.
How old are they?
They're both 22.
Oh, good. Where are they at school?
We all went to Creighton. We just graduated.
Dayton?
Creighton.
Oh, Creighton. Creighton. Creighton, is that in this state?
At least the Creighton.
At least the Creighton.
It's in Omaha as well, but they both work there now. So.
Right, because I'm brain dead. What are their names again?
Molly and Sophie.
Ollie and Sophie.
Molly.
Exactly. Molly, Sophie, it's Axel. That's the voice you wanted, right?
Yes.
All right, take two. Molly, Sophie, it's Axel. Molly, Sophie, it's Axel. Creighton, what a crazy time, right? You don't remember me there? I remember you there. We were all messed up. Let's go make some more memories that we'll forget.
Your name?
Maddie. This is for Todd. I agree with the Deadly Kid. You are one of my favorite voice actors.
Thank you.
I was wondering, how much of yourself do you put into your characters?
I think you have to, I think you gotta put pretty much all the characters that we play are shades of either things that are within us or things that we have incorporated within us for a role. Specifically with stage work more particularly. Like one time I played this knight, this murderous knight or whatever. So I didn't go murder people to learn how to do that. But we all have the capability to be very good or be very evil. And so if you can really get down and just comfortable with that, and you can pull from different parts of your life experiences, and I've been very fortunate or not so fortunate to have a lot of experiences that have forced me to grow up very young, very young. I had to grow up and fend for myself. And so being able to pull on those helped, and being able to channel it, you know? And so I think that helped a lot for me. Yeah, so a lot of me is.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Hi. And your name?
Jenna,
And Jim, step up a little bit further. And your question?
I have 2 requests, one for Quentin and one for Todd. Quentin, can you say hello to my boyfriend Cody in your Axel voice?
Hello to your boyfriend, Cody.
There you go.
And say a few lines.
Are you even recording this yet?
Oh yeah, here we go.
Yeah, so that first one was lost on me, right?
Yeah.
You're gonna laugh. So you
That was a B-side.
It was a B-side.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna do it again. You guys are gonna have to laugh like you heard it for the first time.
It's like a studio audience.
Yeah, just follow me. So you want me to say hello to your boyfriend Cody as Axel?
Yeah.
Hello to your boyfriend Cody.
It's pretty good. It's all right.
It's all right. Then again, my aftertaste reaction is pretty bad. Cody, what's up? This is Axel. What do you say you and I go out for a sea salt ice cream? I mean, just as friends. I don't want to be coming between you and your girlfriend.
We have one for
Todd, I'd like you to shout out to me, Jenna, as your Italy voice.
Oh, what's your name?
Jenna.
Jenna and your friend's name?
Jenna.
Oh, I thought you said you
Yeah.
and your friend. Okay.
Jenna! Shout
Hi. Your name?
Wyatt.
Your question?
I have a question for Quentin. Which character in Robot Chicken did you enjoy playing as the most?
Well, I would have to say Elmer Fudd rapping against Bugs Bunny in the 8 Mile Eminem parody. But it's always fun to talk like Elmer Fudd. And even more fun to whap. And again, being spiked with a fox, you know, it was fun. Aw, man! Lord Zordon was good. It's all good, but yeah, Elmer Fudd the best.
Right on. Thank you very much. All right, 2 more questions here. Hi. And step up a little further. And your name?
Megan.
Hi, Megan. And your question?
I have a question for Quentin and Todd. So, all right, first off, Quentin, as Axel,
Yes,
who's
I'll
his
say.
fit? Yes.
Go, gadget question.
Yes. Yes. Who is Axel's favorite Disney character in Kingdom Hearts?
Well, that would be himself. Or that would have been my version of Timon in the 90s. Hakuna Matata. What a wonderful phrase.
Yes. And for Todd, since you're just an awesome voice actor, I mean, both of you are just awesome. Okay,
Ain't no passing craze. Please don't worry for the rest of your days. It's all problem free. Philosophy. Hakuna Matata.
yeah, for Todd,
When I was a young woman.
of course, as Death the Kid, when you're, out of the voice acting booth, do you act like him in real life? Because he's always, everything has to be perfect, or he just wants to kill himself.
I'm pretty. I have pretty specific things I like to do as far as I'm not Melvin Udall. I don't wash the fresh bar of soap every time. But there is a certain perfectionist attitude to things, and I think that people that want to be have lofty goals in whatever they plan to do have to have that, really, because a combination of what I do with my career, I hope, is that I have a lot of gratefulness for everything that comes my way. I have a lot of appreciation for the fact that it's not solely my decisions that bring me somewhere. It takes an army to make one person rise up. That's why you always help other people, because if everybody's helping each other, we all rise up. And then the third thing talks about that very thing you're talking about, is kind of a perfectionist attitude. Because there are so many people that would poison a dashboard cookie and give it to their family to even be to X point in their career, or where we're at. You know what I mean? And so you have to, I feel, you always have to look at yourself with, with a lot of scrutiny. I do when I do things. And so I can be my own worst critic sometimes, but then you have to temper that with a producer mentality. When I used to direct like D. Gray Man, for instance, and I would harp on these certain scenes, but then when I watch it back and watch the whole episode, it didn't matter. I shouldn't have harped on it that much.
That was 2004.
No, when the manga came out. That's right. And then, and so yeah, it was. So there's a little bit of that in there for sure. Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
All right, looks like we'll try to get you in. Step on up. Come on up. We'll try to get you in. All right. Hi. Your name?
Julia,
Hi, Julia. Which question?
I have a question for Todd. What was your favorite line to do as Alan Walker?
The one that I remember, which is the one that I said at the end of every episode, so I said it 51 times. Bring forth salvation to this tormented Akuma's soul.
Thank you very much. And we have one more question, and we'll get a chance to meet the panelists on their own at different panels throughout the weekend. Step right on up. Your name?
James.
And your question, James?
I have a question for, I don't even want...
Todd? Quentin?
Liesel.
I didn't want to attempt to mispronounce it. So in Lost in Translation, how is it working with the people there,
like Bill Murray?
Yeah.
Bill Murray was great. My scenes in the movie were with him, and he was wonderful. He was very high energy. He was always, because a little backstory on Lost in Translation, they had to film in Japan in like 2.5 weeks. So they had a very tight schedule. So I was very fortunate in that I was only there for a day, but I did get to see what was going on set, and they were filming at night when they were doing the hotel scenes, because it's a very high-end hotel, so they were only given nighttime to film. And then all the scenes that they did in like outside in the daytime and everything were all done in the day. So they would go 24 hours sometimes, constantly filming. Of course, Bill Murray's in almost every part of the film. So he was wonderful, like kind of keeping the energy going, keeping all the staff going. They had a lot of local hires there who were quite exhausted, but he did a great job. Sofia Coppola was really wonderful to work with. And I won't go into it because it's a little bit long, but I actually had met her 10 years prior to that. And I did not have a good experience at all when I first met Sofia Coppola, so it was very interesting for me coming on the film set and then getting to work with her again and then seeing how much she'd grown up. Because I met her when she was probably about 18, 19. She was very young. She was married or dating at the time Spike Jonze. And she came to Japan, and she was very obnoxious and very spoiled. So I got to see Sofia Coppola as she is now. She was just really wonderful, very humble. So yeah, Scarlett Johansson I also worked with as well.
Me like Scarlett.
I won't go into that.
Okay. I just loved her in Hitchcock as Janet Leigh because she was unrecognizable and she was excellent.
Yeah, she's
in that movie.
Yeah. I like your Link shirt.
Thank you.
Pretty cool.
Is that a cartridge for his? It's a cartridge for the Nintendo.
And you're blowing on it, because that's how you had to do it back in the day.
Hi, Lisa.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Ladies and gentlemen, give a big round of applause for our guests. Things that have autographs coming up very shortly.
What? We have an hour break. Autographs after that or panels?
Autographs.
What is it? Oh, Katie, what? 12:30 are autographs?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
12:30 are autographs.
The radio theater.
I think after the autographs, then I have a solo panel, which is added to one of those white sheets you got with the program, and then radio theater. you guys, so I can sandwich a panel in between. If you guys want to know anything about Todd, come see me.
Thank you very much. Another big round of applause!